This is 11 Accelerated Vocabulary, Unit 1. First word is approbation. The expression of approval or favorable opinion, praise, official approval. So examples are applause or somebody saying keep up the good work, maybe getting a raise at work. Those are all expressions of approval and favorable opinion. Assuage is a verb to make easier or milder, to relieve, to quiet or calm, to alleviate. So taking something like Tylenol would help assuage or alleviate your headache. Feeding a baby, you have a crying baby, you give them a bottle, that would help assuage their crying and their tears. Taking medicine to ease pain, maybe you do something nice to try to feel less guilty about something that you did. Coalition is a noun, a combination, union, or merger for some specific purpose, some kind of an alliance, a league. You have examples here like the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, unions, all of your teachers are in a teacher union, community groups like the Homeless Youth Coalition, you see the picture there on your left. Decadence is a noun, a decline, decay, or deterioration, and then excessive self-indulgence. So two different definitions here. If you look at the last part, excessive self-indulgence, you see the picture of the cake on top. So something that's very decadent, something that's a food that's very rich. You also have a decline or decay. Maybe your synonym here is corruption, so like a breakdown of society. Years of drug abuse will cause some kind of decline or decay in your body. Reckless spending will cause some kind of decline or decay. Elicit. Elicit is, it's actually a verb. To draw forth, to bring out from some source, like another person, so to elicit information from somebody. Sometimes your teachers will try to elicit information from you by asking questions in a certain way. You see in the first picture on top, it's an interrogation. So the police officer is trying to interrogate the prisoner, trying to elicit information from them, trying to gather information from them. One other example here is to gain applause from an audience, so something that the actor or actress does on stage, they try to get that applause. The second picture is talking about trying to elicit sympathy, trying to get sympathy from somebody. Expostulate, verb, to attempt to discourage someone from some course or decision by serious reasoning, so to protest. To stop friends from doing drugs, drinking or driving, etc., so from making bad decisions. So you're trying to discourage them from those bad decisions. Hackneyed is an adjective used so often as to lack freshness or originality. So some kind of like a cliche phrase, something that's so old it's not original anymore. Something like you can't judge a book by its cover. Maybe something that's kind of overplayed and corny. The cartoon here, the cows are saying, if he says got milk, I'm gonna bite. So that's not an original phrase anymore. It's hackneyed. Hiatus, a noun, a gap, an opening, or a break. So some kind of a pause. Vacations are an example of a hiatus from school. Maybe a lunch break is a hiatus from your busy work day. I know you've all taken part in a conversation where all of a sudden there's like that awkward pause in the conversation. That's just a hiatus in the conversation, a little opening, a little break. An innuendo, a noun, a hint, indirect suggestion, or reference, often in an insulting way, so often in a negative way. So some kind of like a little wink or an elbow jab. You're not saying something directly outright, you're just hinting at it, you're suggesting it. To intercede is a verb, to plead on behalf of someone else, to be the go-between in a disagreement, so to mediate. A lawyer or a judge will kind of intercede in any kind of court case. You intercede maybe if you're trying to get your friends to stop fighting. The picture there, the mom or the babysitter, maybe whoever she is trying to intercede between the two kids who are fighting. Jaded is an adjective, wearied, worn out, dulled from overindulgence. So some kind of excessive indulgence. Maybe you ate too much at Thanksgiving and now you're just tired, you're worn out, you're dull. The end of the school year, you've worked hard, but your body's kind of worn out and tired and exhausted from all the work you've done. Even traveling, as fun as it can be, you do get exhausted after a long trip. You're just kind of jaded. Lurid. Oof, I hate that movie Saw. Just seeing it makes me shiver. Lurid is an adjective causing shock, horror, or revulsion, and that's the whole point of Saw or any horror movie. They're supposed to be gruesome, they're supposed to be gory and disgusting, and they're supposed to cause you to be shocked or horrified at what is going on. So horror movies are a good example. A bad car accident or maybe seeing pictures of war are also supposed to cause shock, horror, or revulsion, be very lurid. Meritorious, that's a fun picture. Meritorious is an adjective, worthy, deserving recognition or praise. So something that's praiseworthy, and the flying dog, I guess, is meritorious, praiseworthy. Other examples here, we have an honor student, a good performance, or person who helps others, all meritorious actions. Petulant, adjective, easily irritated and upset, peevish, somebody who gets annoyed easily. So Oscar the Grouch is a very petulant character. You have Squidward from SpongeBob and Stewie from, Family Guy? Prerogative. Prerogative is a special right or privilege that you have. So you have the prerogative to want to change your mind. You have the prerogative to wear what you want. Well, maybe not at school. But another example, seniors maybe have special prerogatives just because they're seniors. They have something called senior privileges. Provincial, adjective, pertaining to an outlining area, narrow in mind or outlook. Provincial can also be a noun, a person with a narrow point of view. So somebody who's just very narrow-minded, somebody who's very naive, somebody who's racist would be a good example. They're very narrow-minded, kind of set in their ways. Simulate, to make a pretense, verb, to make a pretense of, to imitate, so to feign or to pretend. And the cartoon talks about simulating happiness on Facebook, so pretending like they're happy on Facebook. But it's just pretending something. So actors are trying to simulate different emotions when they're on stage. If you have ever seen like a driving simulator, it looks like you're driving on a street, but you're really just in a machine, practice driving. Video games simulate different scenarios, different situations. Transcend is a verb, to rise above or beyond, to exceed. So to overcome difficulties, you're transcending. To transcend expectations that are set on you. Maybe you're going above or beyond. People didn't think you would graduate high school, but you transcend those expectations when you graduated from college. Umbrage, noun, offense, resentment, or shade cast by trees. So some kind of an annoyance, irritation. You can say, I take umbrage, I take offense at what you just said. Don't get mad at me, but I'm not familiar with the Harry Potter character Dolores Umbridge, but I'm sure she exemplifies this definition perfectly. Unctuous is an adjective, somebody who's excessively smooth or smug, so they're trying too hard to give a good impression, someone who's kind of full of themselves. And if you look at the cartoon, they're all clapping and they have the smiles on their face, but really they're thinking, what a jerk. So they're trying too hard to give that good impression. So that is it for vocabulary.